I've got an unusual watch for you to see. The question is it a gimmick or an innovation? This is the CIGA Design X Series Great Ape. This is not your father's wristwatch. I'll give you a hands-on review covering all the interesting and unique design elements of this watch on this episode of Adventures with Time. This watch may not be for everyone, but I think it's worth taking a look at. CIGA Design was founded in 2016 by Zhang Jiamin, a graphic and architectural designer. CIGA has a design team made up of 8 designers from different countries, so you are assured to get a variety of aspects in their designs. In addition to this X Series watch, they have released several other collections. The Z Series, the C Series, MY Series, the R Series, J Series, and the U Series, all intriguing and some with unique designs. This X Series Gorilla model is a square watch with a skeleton design. Let's quickly go over the specifications before we get into the design elements and aesthetics. This is a titanium case that is nominally 44 millimeters wide in either direction. Including the crown guard, it's a bit wider at 45.3 millimeters. Employing very short lugs that are 20 millimeters wide, the lug to lug is 48 millimeters. Thickness is 11.7 millimeters, including a flat sapphire front crystal and mineral back crystal. On the rubber strap, it weighs in at just 75 grams, a little less on the nylon strap. This is not a watch made for water. It has a push-pull 7.7 millimeter signed crown and a case back secured by 8 screws, giving it a stated 30 meters of water resistance. However, I'd keep this watch away from any water. The watch is driven by the CD01 movement, which is a Seagull-made automatic caliber that runs at 21,600 beats per hour, has a power reserve of 40 hours, hacking, and a stated accuracy of -15 to +30 seconds a day. Retail price is $449 US, but I've seen discounts on their website. For that, you get the watch head and 2 quick-release straps, one nylon and one rubber. The watch comes in this box that looks like an art book. It's got a nice embossed outer sleeve with this inner container, a few pages in the front for watch information, a center watch holder, and a few pages in the back for operating instructions. I rather like this take on a watch box. It's easier to store on a bookshelf than other watch boxes that are traditional box-shaped. I must say that after giving this watch a quick look and reading about its engineering, it reminded me of 2 other watches that I've reviewed before, the Weiler Geneve Code R and the Richard Mille RM052. I'll leave links to both of these videos at the end. So, where to start with this watch? This is a showpiece intended to demonstrate its industrial design and engineering elements. To that end, it is a skeleton design where the entire movement is held in place by suspension arms from each of the 4 corners. Virtually every element of the movement is visible from either the front or back. This enables them to incorporate a power reserve of sorts. Given the skeleton design, the mainspring is visible. Hence, one can see how tightly wound the spring is to determine to some degree the level of power reserve. A cute idea, but not very practical, I think. This is a 3-handed watch. The hour and minute hands are skeletonized. Also, there's a long second hand, which has a skeletonized counterbalance. There is lume on the hour and minute hands and on the suspension arms, providing a little interest in low light conditions. However, given the 2 hands are close in size, it can be difficult to determine which is which. And one might ask, given there are no hour indices, how does one tell the time? Again, this is a showpiece watch, not intended for down-to-the-minute time telling. However, they have included hour indices in the watch. The case has specific demarcations on the bezel of the inner case. This is best demonstrated if I place this paper clock face on top of the watch. 12 o'clock is marked by a triangle. Other hours are identified by cutout edges or notches in the bezel. Ah, now you see it. Somewhat ingenious for getting a rough idea of the time, but certainly not viable if one wants to determine the time down to the minute. One of the engineering highlights touted by CIGA is the double shell construction of the case that incorporates a spring suspension system. The inner case is attached to the outer case by 4 springs that act like shock absorbers. Does this really help? I'm not sure, but it is similar to the wireless system in the Code R watch, which demonstrated its toughness by being dropped from the Eiffel Tower in 1956 and the Seattle Space Needle in 1962. As a showpiece watch, I don't think one would wear this participating in sports or other rough conditions. Likewise, it's not a watch for when you need to tell the time down to the minute or second. It is a watch that exhibits interesting design attributes and would be a conversation starter and fun to wear. Its size and shape might not suit everyone. Even if you are able to pull off a 44mm diameter round watch, the square shape of this case makes it appear even larger on your wrist. With potential discounts bringing the watch under $400 US, it might be something to consider if you like the design. Personally, I would find limited scenarios during which I would wear such a watch. I don't intend to take anything away from CIGA. It's just that I'm not sure how often I'd wear this watch. What about you? Do you have watches in your collection with unusual designs? Would you consider a watch like this? Here are the videos I mentioned on the Weiler and Richard Mille watches. If you want to hear some interesting but probably useless watch information, here's a 10-minute video that will provide you with some facts to impress people at cocktail parties. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.